You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. That's a shitty clap. I'm going to do it again. 3, 2, 1. That was nice. All right. Hello, everyone. It is April 10th. Today's Wednesday.
Yes.
It is.
It is. It is
So
Wednesday, my dudes.
At the time of this coming out, it'll be Thursday, April 11th. I was really mixed up there for a second. I thought today was Thursday.
No.
We're going to kind of wing this episode today, I think. So welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the Lodge Pod. College basketball is officially over. MLB is going strong. We're getting close to the end of the NHL, NBA regular seasons. I got a bone to pick today to start off. McDonald's breakfast ends at 10:30. And same with Chick-fil-A, I realize as well.
Yeah.
That is extremely early.
Yes.
For a college man like myself. 10:30 might as well be 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That is true.
It is messed up. And they were talking about, I think it was like last year I read something that they were supposed to bring it back for all-day breakfast. I don't know if you guys remember when that was a thing or not.
Yeah, when did they cut that
I
off?
think that was like a COVID stop.
Yeah, that was like a COVID thing, for sure. But they used to do all-day breakfast. 'Cause I remember I get in high school at on lunch break or something at 12, and I get McDonald's breakfast. It was so good. But
I don't see how hard it can be, really, to
It can't
make
be
breakfast
hard.
all day.
I think it's just like the extra storage, of random because how many people are coming in 7 o'clock and being like, let me get a sausage egg McMuffin.
All right, but at least extend it, push it out to I don't know.
Noon.
Yeah, noon even.
yeah.
Noon could work.
I'm also pretty sure that they have their own breakfast assembly station, so it's not like it's taking up space on what they need to make for lunch. So I don't know why they don't bring it back. Kind of sucks, because it is the best fast food breakfast. There's no doubt
Yeah,
about it.
I've been out of breakfast foods for probably the last week, and every day I wake up, I'm like, I'll go to McDonald's or something. But
Yeah.
I never wake up on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
wake up,
tough.
it's lunch.
Are you what's your go-to for breakfast order?
I just like hotcakes and hash browns.
The hot cakes.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
wild for sure. I think you got to get the McGriddle if you're gonna.
Gotta go with the
You gotta
McGriddle.
get
The
the
bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle, please.
Nah, you can't do the bacon, bro.
The
Sausage.
sausage is
yeah.
gas.
You gotta go
Sausage is where it's
Dude,
at.
the bacon, they don't give you enough. That
Yeah,
downs.
that's
I
fair.
don't know what McDonald's you're going to, but
Bro, they don't give you enough bacon. Bro, like a sausage patty versus the bacon they put on there is like night and day.
It is definitely night and day for sure.
I'm definitely a
But
sausage egg.
I've had some bad experiences with the sausage at my home location, so I don't.
Well,
I
how?
don't.
Yeah,
I
can
don't-
you
I just-
elaborate on
Yeah.
that?
Some bad sausage,
Bro, it's literally frozen and packaged.
It doesn't matter. Bad sausage. Is
It's
bad
not.
sausage.
It can't. How could it be bad? It's just cold.
It seems like a microcosm of your life. Bad
Yeah.
sausage.
Oh,
Bad sausage.
we're gonna get. Never mind.
the hash browns though are elite. A McDonald's
hash
hash brown.
browns are-
Anything with potatoes at McDonald's is elite.
You could just eat those and
Yeah.
kind of have a solid start to your day.
Straight
with
up.
breakfast and
For real.
Straight up.
That's like a beautiful snack when you have when I wake up and I'm driving to a college football game or something like that and we have to leave early.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stop at McDonald's for breakfast. What are you doing?
Oh my god, dude! Although Taco Bell breakfast
Taco
is also
Bell
kind of
breakfast
slept on.
hits, dude.
That shit slaps.
In
I
high school,
haven't partaken in
dude,
Taco
a
Bell
breakfast
breakfast.
crunch wrap is actually amazing.
So good, bro.
In high school, my friends and I would always leave our first hour and just go get Taco Bell breakfast and come back.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So what restaurant or fast food chain that doesn't have breakfast would you want to incorporate breakfast if you had to choose one?
Maybe like Arby's.
That would be crazy.
That's an idea. For
That's we'll stick that right up there in the back of our head for later.
That's honestly a good question, Jack. Eric,
I
you
feel
got
like
anything?
most have breakfast.
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
Some maybe a pizza place. Breakfast pizza would be fun.
Yeah.
But I feel
But-
that'd be one thing you have every once in a while.
But even Santoro's, they do breakfast.
I'll
Yeah,
say
but
like
I'm saying chain.
Oh, like Papa John's.
Yeah,
I'm-
Little Caesars would definitely be the ones to
Yeah.
pioneer the pizza breakfast.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of this restaurant, and so this is not an endorsement by any means. But Ava's or Ava over in Soho, they do have a very good breakfast pizza.
Yeah, that breakfast pizza is pretty
With that
good.
being said, I'm not a big fan of that restaurant. Just
Yeah.
I don't like the way it's run.
Imagine Green Lemon having breakfast and you just go there and get a margarita
Dude, that'd be.
along with your breakfast sandwich.
Hell yeah, dude.
Great way to start the
Oh,
day.
Yeah.
But they would do like breakfast tacos or like breakfast burritos
Yeah.
or something.
I will say,
Breakfast trio dip.
yeah. Well, what would that even consist of? Like hot sauce and like sausage? I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
some,
like sausage in the queso.
Yeah.
maybe some like cheese whiz.
Dude,
Cheese
I think
whiz.
honestly
Some tequila
one place
OJ.
that would be able to do like a fun breakfast would be KFC.
I was just gonna say KFC.
Yeah.
Speaking of KFC, this isn't their breakfast, but you seen they're doing that chicken pizza?
Yeah, dude. Like,
Have you
I-
seen
it's
that?
it's a
I've
good
not.
idea.
Dude, I do not think so at all. Bro.
I mean,
They're
it's
taking-
just like it's something fun. Like
they're taking
it's like a
instead of like pizza dough, they're using like fried chicken and making a pizza on top of it.
it's just like, but they don't put sauce on it. It's just
No.
cheese and pepperoni.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's an idea.
if you
yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you like
Like,
cheese
look
and
up-
pepperoni, just put it on and you put on like you like chicken, you like cheese, you like pepperoni.
You mean like pieces of chicken on the pizza?
no?
and
It's
then-
like chicken is the
oh,
dough.
it is the crust.
So it's
and
like you
everything.
rip it up. It's like
Yeah.
How
Okay.
thin is this layer of breaded chicken?
yeah, I got you.
It's like just chicken that they've melted cheese over the top and put pepperoni
It's-
slices on.
Looks like a glorified, not glorified actually, lower end version of like chicken parm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like something I would make if I was like high as shit one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Like,
It was just like scrambling together ingredients.
But I mean, I feel like
The
I
na-
feel like it would taste all right.
I don't know. The name Cheesa definitely sounds like it is. You're 3 a.m. in your kitchen with your room.
it's a cheesa. It's a cheesa.
That is how they came up
I
with it.
think we were talking about it one day when we were watching the March Madness games and the Cheetah commercials kept coming up. We kept
Yeah.
playing around with the idea of ordering one.
I can't imagine that the ROI on those commercials is great right now.
I feel like when KFC does some random stuff though, like people go to KFC because they're like, it's one of those restaurants that like you go to. It's like a special occasion.
People are flocking to KFC.
like
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, I'm
is
not
a
saying like it
special-
is like a,
special
I'm not saying
occasion.
it's like you're like celebrating, but like when you go to KFC, it's like once every like year.
So like for
Yeah,
your
I can
that's
actually
fair.
get it.
so
Like,
for your college graduation, are you going to
Mom, take me to KFC so we can get the cheese
for,
up.
for a Cheesa?
no, I'm just saying like when you're like thinking about going to get like fast food.
No, I know what you're saying. I
It's
do.
Let's
like-
do that. Let's cater some cheese.
yeah.
I just they get the family.
Yo,
bucket.
chat, somebody order us a Cheesa.
Last if we do the last episode before we like go to Zoom, if we keep doing the pod, we just do a mukbang with like a family bucket of KFC.
That would have been a fun punishment for you. Had Purdue
Oh
won, maybe
my God.
mukbang a cheetah in a Zach 80 jersey.
Just a bunch of cheeses. Dude, but I will say like I say like when you like think about KFC, like oh it's good, but like you go somewhere else. But like their bowls, like the famous bowl, when they do it with the mac and cheese, that is
I've never had
bang.
All right, I will say I'm getting real fucking sick of our lackluster setup here. And
Yeah.
these fucking cameras that just cut out have a mind of their own.
They do.
We need to hire out maybe somebody to sit behind the camera now.
And just hold it. Make sure it behaves.
It's tough.
Man.
Can't do everything, you know.
No.
I have someone who will do it for 100 yen.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh, so yeah, the
We're
Lightning
back.
won last night.
Yeah.
It was another big win. Too bad that they are going to be wild card 1. The NHL playoff race is crazy.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
Flyers have found their way out of it.
The Yers.
Have faith.
They still have, according to moneypuck.com, they still have a 7.5% chance to get in.
That's not zero.
It's not 0.
It's
They also have a
7.5%
0.0
chance
they have
more
a-
than your team.
They have a 0.1% chance to win the cup.
Not zero either.
Not 0. The Red Wings are in front of them in terms of making the playoffs, but they have a 0% chance of winning the cup, according to MoneyPuck.
It's interesting.
So
How does that math work?
I think it's just like superstars. Because like the Penguins can get in the playoffs. They have a 41% chance, but they have a 0.1%. But it's like they had Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, and Erik Karlsson.
I will go back. I've only been to 2 different arenas for NHL games. One being Prudential in Newark. I saw the Devils play the Winnipeg Jets a while back in like middle school. That was a fun game, but Amelie for a Lightning game is electric. And
Yeah.
I mean that pun intended.
It's a fun experience.
Seeing like that setup they have, what would you even call that? They're like Tesla coils.
The Tesla cannon or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's
What is
sick.
it?
They have
They
those
ha-
little lightning things.
They
in
shoot
each corner.
lightning when the Lightning score.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
And that huge organ. At the top
yeah,
of the arena.
yeah. And then the big neon sign that says Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
Really, really dope atmosphere
Yeah.
in that place.
Dude, Tampa's stadiums have a lot of character to them.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that. Even for how shitty the Trop is, and Raymond James doesn't get like a great rep, but I will say there's not a bad seat in that stadium either.
I think Raymond James also, I think it's like a top, I mean, not like in terms of like history, but it's definitely like a top NFL stadium.
Yeah, if it didn't have the pirate chip, though, I don't think it would
but
have
then
as
they
much
have, like, the
allure.
houses, but yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. But like that's part of it. It's always had the pirate
For sure,
ship.
yeah. And the cannons and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I got fucking sick and tired of hearing those cannons a couple months ago, but
Yeah. Very unique. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with
I mean,
that.
I'd say all the Tampa stadiums kind of do a good job of like encapsulating their team. Like the Rays even have like the Ray tank.
Yeah.
yeah. And it just like they all have a sort of Tampa vibe to them as well.
Yeah. I mean, other than the Trop's just like, Trop is something.
Yeah.
It's
I-
something.
But
It's
it
a
has
stadium.
character.
The new stadium will be cool for sure.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say about? Oh, Thunder Alley. Thunder
Yeah.
Alley's really cool as well. Like
Yeah.
even you don't even have to have a ticket to the game. You could just go
Just go-
sit out there and watch.
Yeah.
Fergs.
Fergs, yeah, dude. Fergs and the Trop is like a married couple.
Yeah, Fergs is a great spot. I'll
Yeah.
endorse Fergs.
Fergs, awesome. But
Yeah.
something about like, I don't know, like the Tampa stadiums, like they just do a good job, like kind of like building little like districts around it, especially like the Water Street stuff that's like
Yeah.
new here. But
Yeah, I wish Ray J had like more going on around it, but I
Yeah,
get it.
it's tough.
You had to find a big plot of land to put a stadium like that at. So
and then
it's-
like the Yankees kind of just bought all the land around
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
yeah, they kind
It-
of boxed him in.
It's also a nightmare getting out of Ray J after a
Yeah.
game.
yeah. That's why I park at the mall.
I'll tell you one
Yeah.
thing: there's no shortage of parking around that stadium. that's
No,
for
not at
sure.
all.
They have parking for freaking.
which is
miles,
awesome. But
yeah.
it's just like I think anything where you don't have like, if you have a parking ramp or if you have like that kind of layout, like just getting out of an event that had 65,000 people is just
Is
a nightmare.
hard. Yeah.
Like my dad and I 2 years ago went to Jacksonville, so I went to that stadium for the Notre Dame South Carolina bowl game,
Duval.
and like parking there was actually a nightmare.
Yeah.
What is that stadium called again?
First and third bank, I
Yeah.
think.
Is it?
Is it
Yeah.
It's
some-
also a
I
shithole.
used to think it should be like
Really?
Everbank Field or something like that.
Yeah.
Does their
It's a
mascot
shithole,
still
right?
like jump from the top of the stadium, or did they do away with that?
Yes, he does.
That's
But
awesome.
I mean, I didn't go see the Jags because the game was at. It was just the college game there.
you think we'll
but
ever see them move to London?
No.
No. Can you confirm it was a dump?
I mean, it was kind of like I'm first time being there. You obviously think everything's cool like first time.
I guess that's
I mean,
fair.
it's so like I had a fine experience, but like because like the AAA, they have like the Jacksonville Icemen are like a AAA hockey or like a ECHL hockey team, and then that's like right there. So they have like a sports complex and amphitheater, and then they have like the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp is like a AAA team. Yeah. They are right there too. So it's like there's not a lot of spots to park. So like my dad and I even got there like an hour and a half early, and we still like we parked in a parking garage. And
Uh-huh.
obviously you can imagine on the way out is a nightmare.
I got. Let's do. You guys want to do this? Give our opinions. Bottom 10 NFL stadiums in the league.
This
Yeah.
is from the Athletic.
This is from the Athletic. We'll do top 10 and bottom 10. We'll ignore the middle
When
because
is
who gives
this
a
from?
shit. This is from. This is
Because some
recently.
s-
This
okay,
is,
I was gonna say because some stadiums might not be on there.
This is 2023. So
Okay.
right before this past season.
So
so
Las
it looks
Vegas will
like FedEx
be
is
on
last, right?
We'll go up the list, I guess. So number 30, and we'll cut out the middle because we don't care about that. Number 30, FedEx Field. Probably
Yeah,
no
that-
surprise.
Yeah, as a Maryland man, I have been to FedEx countless times. Was there when Jalen Hurts almost got amputated, had to get amputated
He was
when
almost crushed by
when he
the.
was crushed by the bleachers.
They tried to take out my glorious king.
Yeah, they tried to take out our glorious king.
Somehow it got 4 stars on Google review.
that is absolute BS.
They had sewage.
Like
It's
it
like
is. It's so bad. Like they can't get anybody in that building that they are selling sponsorships for the tarps that they're putting over seats to hide the fact that people aren't there.
Yeah, that's bad.
Those 4-star reviews are from bots that Dan Snyder made.
Probably.
This past year though, they did since new ownership come, they did have more people come.
Yeah. I'll say, what's that disease you can get from dirty turf? You guys know what I'm talking about?
MRSA.
MRSA. I feel like you could get MRSA by playing at FedEx Field.
I think they have grass though.
Oh, do they have
Yeah.
grass?
I think you might catch allegations just from going to FedEx Field.
Okay,
That's
well, regardless,
crazy.
that's number 30. 29. Okay,
That's
so
the Jags,
yeah. So
yeah.
TIAA Bank Field. So I guess it's not 5th and 3rd. I, don't
I
know
just
why
made
I thought
a
that.
I just made a connection there. Dan Schneider is a bad name to have. Bad
Oh,
people
true.
Yeah.
don
Yeah.
the name Dan Schneider.
From the Nickelodeon
Snyder.
Yeah.
thing.
And then
right?
you have the former Commanders owner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy was a not
Danny
a stand-up
Burgess.
dude. All right, Jacksonville Jaguars home stadium, 4.5 Google review star, 4.5 stars on Google review, 29th.
You also have to remember that those stars are definitely coming from fans of the team.
So this is you also have to consider this is ranked by media, players, and anonymous insiders in the NFL. So probably
So
like
not
execs
even
and coaches.
not even like a fan.
So those bottom two seem pretty valid to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, like I went to the Jags thing, and I'm trying to pull some pictures up right now, but it was like fine. You know,
Hard Rock is a surprising one to have.
Yeah,
third to
28.
last.
We got Hard Rock, third to last.
I would think it's location. It's very far away.
I would have to think that's
From the
what it
city of
is.
Miami.
Probably hot as balls too.
The way, if you've ever seen the Hard Rock, you see it's split 50-50. If you're on the away team side, the sun is in your face the entire game.
Yeah, so you saw that they did that on
It's-
purpose,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
it's
well, that's what
not-
Raymond James does too.
It's not a good.
I will
stadium
say though,
for
so like you can
fans.
kind of see inside at TIAA, like it just looks old.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Yeah.
with the
That does look
paneling.
old,
But,
yeah,
like this picture I took was pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Average picture.
All right, 27 Paycor Stadium of the Cincinnati Bengals.
I just feel like it's in Cincinnati. How
That's
good could
green.
it
I like
be?
everything in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati is mid.
Yeah.
Except for like Skyline Chili.
I feel like that is still like
those,
you either love it or you hate it. You know?
I've never had it, but I've heard great things.
those harsh Cincy winters. Yeah, that stadium
Yeah,
definitely
that's
takes
tough.
some beatings.
I kind of like the seat layout, so like the different colors.
It has like that.
Yeah,
has, like,
yeah.
the
like
one
black
that goes
and
off
orange.
The angle.
Yeah, like that's kind of cool. But all right, anyways, 27, 26. Wow, Caesars Superdome. I'm kind of surprised
I
by
can see that it's old.
Yeah, it's really.
It is old, but it's one of the biggest stadiums in the league. That's for sure. Yeah,
It's
I
just
guess they're just
old.
saying it's old and outdated, pretty much. Which
Yeah.
makes, I feel like if they renovated it, that would jump in top 10, probably.
Yeah.
I'd have to guess.
I think
if
it
was
depends
new.
if the Saints are good or if the Saints are bad.
I feel like it's a very iconic stadium, though. Would you agree
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that?
sure.
it
For
is
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Having the Super Bowl and the Superdome just
Yeah.
seems like the right thing
I'm
to do.
I'm honestly surprised that the Giants and
It
the
don't-
Jets, the Meadowlands,
Met-
haven't been on.
There
right
we
there.
go. Good
MetLife.
segue, Jack. That's what we're talking
All right,
about
because I was
there.
gonna say I've
That's
been
why we
waiting
pay
for
you
them.
the big bucks.
He's
Been
got a
waiting for them
sixth
for a
sense.
while.
MetLife 25, 82,000 people. That's a lot of people. And obviously we know why it sucks.
I wonder how much
That's well documented.
further that would go up the list if they would get rid of that fucking
I mean,
turf.
I feel like the stadium still is kind of like.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I'm reading that the food is also terrible. Exiting the stadium is atrocious.
I'm gonna say Soldier Field's the next one.
I
feel
haven't
like
been
that's
into
big
nothing nearby.
stone-
MetLife, but
like
What'd you
just
say it was,
stone
Jack?
built- Soldier Field.
We got Highmark Stadium, 24, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually
Cold
like their
winters.
stadium a lot.
Have you been there?
Yeah,
They're doing
I
renovations on it though,
I went like in
or
the
they're about to.
dead of winter one time when I went up to Niagara Falls, and I just kind of went and like walked around the stadium. It seemed pretty nice. It's really in the middle of like rural Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like there's just houses around it. It kind of reminds me of. I
Lambeau?
haven't been to Lambeau, but from
Yeah.
what I've heard about Lambeau, I
I'm
feel like
going
they're very similar.
2026.
I'd assume that it has to do with the fact that it's in Buffalo and why it's
Probably.
ranked so poorly, and that it's cold.
Most
There's
of that
Soldier
neighborhood.
There's
Field.
Soldier,
23.
23, and this is one of the smaller stadiums too, only
It's
61,000
old.
people.
Soldier Field is old.
Yeah.
It's just like a big concrete slab.
Yeah.
There's that whole debacle. They still haven't found a new location yet for the team.
Now we're
It
trying
fell
to look
through
at
with
Arlington
Arlington.
Heights.
Yeah, that fell through though. They
Oh,
can't
really?
get the tax dollars for it, so now they're kind of screwed.
I think they're trying to like renovate Soldier Field.
22, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte for the Panthers.
I just feel like you never really hear about
No.
this stadium.
Yeah.
I'd agree. I'd say though, playing on in it at Madden, it kind of has like a cool backdrop. You know, it has like
With,
the
like, the
city
city of
like right
Charlotte.
behind it. Like that's kind of cool. But
One of my friends went for the Georgia Clemson game. He said it was like okay
yeah,
because he went to Mercedes Benz
Yeah.
like earlier for a Georgia game. It was like different, very
That
different.
probably that sounds about right with its
Yeah.
rank.
Yeah,
Though. I'd
that
say
fran-
22 is like an okay stadium.
yeah.
The where that franchise has been ran.
Yeah.
It matches up perfectly with what they want to do.
21, Gillette Stadium.
Gillette. How does
This
this?
was this before the renovation?
Is
Oh,
this
yeah, it's
before-
2023.
This is 2023.
This is post
so
Lighthouse.
This is post Lighthouse. I mean, I'll say being there, obviously growing up near there and being there a handful of times, it was all right. It was kind of like bland, and it's also I think people forget how far outside of Boston it is. It's like a half hour at least. If there's traffic, it's taking you more than that. So I feel like that's probably got to be why. And it's cold.
All right, to round out the bottom 10.
Raymond
Ray J, really?
James.
Really?
Yeah, number 20.
What do they say about it?
75,000 seats. They're referencing age.
I mean,
As part of it, 25 years old. And it's had multiple ballots for the worst 5 stadiums in the league. Wow, that's kind of surprising.
that's kind of crazy because it's like, I
Can we
mean,
just clip what Eric said like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, it is surprising.
All right, number 10.
You want to? We'll go descending here.
Yeah, or you want to go?
Yeah,
one
yeah,
through-
yeah.
where was
Okay.
Ford Field at? I want to know. I've been to Ford Field
Well,
a
let's get
handful
through
of
the
times.
top 10, and then we'll see if we can see it or not. Pittsburgh Steelers, a Chrysler Stadium.
Acrisure.
It will
Acrisure,
always
thank
be
you.
Heinz.
Yeah.
Heinz is just better for sure.
But-
This is another stadium with a cool backdrop, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Pittsburgh, anything in Pittsburgh is cool because I think everything they just like PNC Park. It looks awesome. Like,
Sick.
Right
the
on the river.
pictures, yeah, with
Yeah.
the backdrop, yeah.
I missed that ketchup bottle though.
Number 9, Empower Field at Mile High Stadium.
I feel like these stadiums though, like, are they really like that nice? I mean, like you see the Broncos stadium. There's never anybody there.
How much history is like also going incorporated?
I would
into
assume
these?
a
Yeah.
decent bit. Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That would make sense. I think that
I'm
should be
surprised.
higher.
I was gonna say this should be top 5.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
It's-
very new. It's dope. It has like the design of it's sick. All right, 7 Allegiant.
That should also be higher.
Yeah, that's
Lambeau's obviously going
the
to be
most
one as a
high
given
tech.
because of the
Yeah.
history, which, you know, and realistically, like, Lambeau is probably one of the worst.
Yeah.
Allegiant just looks like a great stadium.
yeah. It's stuck in that.
Arrowhead
neighborhood.
at 6.
Arrowhead, I feel like is just iconic.
I heard Arrowhead is a dump though. Like it might be iconic, but I've heard it's like
That's what I'm saying. I feel
it's,
like a lot
it's
of these...
in Soldier Field with like the concrete slab type.
And the renovations
Arrow.
just got
the way you
denied.
just said soldier, you
Shush,
you were like
Yeah, I know.
soldier,
Dude,
soldier.
I was having an aneurysm
Soldier
right
Boy,
there.
tell.
5 Lumen Field, Seattle Seahawks.
That would
12th
be, I
man.
want to go to
Really?
that
Because
one.
I would have thought that would have been much lower being up in
Seattle's just
Seattle.
depressing.
No, but that stadium is sick.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, like, I feel like that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of, like, disconnect because it's, like, media players and
Yeah.
it's not fans.
Jerry
Yeah.
World in at 4.
Jerry World, number 4. I know
That
you
would-
Eagles boys are getting
No,
nervous.
with the amount of money that Jerry put into
80
that stadium, if he didn't make it into the top,
Yeah, I mean it looks
Yeah.
like a great stadium.
80,000
It's just
seats.
the team that plays for him
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
3 Lambeau. Wow,
Really?
there you go. Who is going to be number 1?
Lincoln
Yeah.
Financial Field.
Lambeau.
And Lambeau's all bleachers, too. Like, you're, like
Yeah.
that. It's like you go and it's, like, cool.
It's your high
like,
school stadium.
Literally. Like, it's-
Lambeau's iconic.
SoFi,
it is.
number
But
2.
is it a top 3 stadium?
So what? Are
Probably.
they gonna put
in terms of,
Minneapolis in
like,
one?
going and, like, I could say, like, I'm going to Lambeau because I want to see Lambeau.
Well, I don't entirely know what the criteria is on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we all know Minnesota's gonna be one.
SoFi, number 2. No surprise there. Number 1, U.S. Bank Stadium. No surprise there. All right, let's see Eagles boys. I'm sure you guys are curious where you're at. Real
I would
quick.
say
We
15.
gotta see Eagles
I'm
and,
just gonna
and
say-
Ford Field.
I think Link is like
Ford
15.
Field's 14 and Lincoln Financial's 15.
Ford Field as a fan sucks. Like,
Jack's on the ball today. I just want
when
to point that out.
it's like there's not a bad seat in Ford Field because there's like 2 decks. But dude, the concourses at Ford Field are literally. It's like the Lions knew they weren't gonna have fans come to the games for a long time, because it's so narrow and it opened still like 20 years ago. Like it's like cool because it's inside, and like, but dude, like the inside of Ford Field kind of sucks.
I want to get this out there as well. I hate NFL teams that share stadiums. I hate
Yeah.
that. Have
Just-
your
that's
own
stupid.
stadium. Have your own like mark that you put on it and whatnot.
It makes more sense for the Jets to have their own, but like the Chargers, I don't think they should have their
It
own.
pisses me off, man.
I mean, the Jets are one of the oldest NFL franchises. Like the fact that they don't have.
Yeah.
I don't know why they haven't done it. Like, they might just be saying we don't have enough of a fan base for that. That they think that they could sell it out consistently, which says a lot. Like, if that's the case.
Even if you make it like 60,000
Yeah.
people,
Like,
you saw the Giants, the Jets Bills game, like it was packed.
I also just think though, where's the land? Like you're right in the metropolitan New York City area, and that's
gonna
where
have
you're
to be
where you're gonna put it in Long Island maybe. even then, I don't know if there's room out there to put an NFL
Long
stadium.
Island would be like the Rays and St. Pete, and everybody hates going all the way to St. Pete.
I
That'd be
agree.
cool though for the Jets. I feel like.
I feel like the Jets are like
Yeah.
Islanders.
Because
Yeah.
it's like you're either a Giants, Yankees, and Rangers fan, or like obviously everyone's a Knicks fan, or a Knicks fan, and then or
Yeah.
you're like a Nets. Well, they were the New Jersey Nets at the time.
Yeah.
Nets,
you're like
Mets.
Nets, Jets, and Islanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you're like the black
Islanders
sheep kind of
winning that
guy.
one.
Yeah.
The Islanders are the best one out of that. Fucking
Well, I know, but you said Mets, Jets. And then
I know. Mets, Jets, Nets.
Yeah.
You want to pivot over now? We can kind of talk about these national championships. Seems like the theme was the better team
One.
outweighed the superstardom.
I think that's the big thing in college versus like professional leagues. Especially like take LeBron. LeBron took the Warriors to Game 7-1 without Kyrie and Clay. Like in college basketball, there's nobody that's that good that will ever be able to beat a team that plays complete basketball.
Yeah, I mean, Uconn and USC over on the women's side, like those two teams going into it, obviously were heavy favorites to win the title, and neither of them seemed to waver at all. They both just kind of went in, took care of business. Didn't really listen to the outside noise and all the media hype over Caitlin Clark or Zach Edey.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Edey had a game, man. I don't.
Yes,
did.
he did.
UConn, you mean USC
No, I'm saying
in the Final Four?
USC on the women's side.
Yeah, I mean, Zach played well. I mean, he shot, 17 for 25 or something like that, or like 15
He's
for
still,
25?
at the very least, numbers-wise, he put up one of the most dominant.
Yeah,
Tournament runs
numbers-wise,
we've
you
seen.
watched the game. He was after
Yeah.
like the second half started. There's like 5 minutes in the second half that he didn't really do anything, and then the game was over. Airballed that free throw,
Yeah.
and then it was over.
I mean, look, I'm not a Zach Edey glazer, but I also like to play devil's advocate with you, Ara, because I think your hatred for him blinds you a little bit to how good he really is.
I think he's a good basketball
He's a
player.
great college basketball
but
player.
I hate how they treated him in the Big Ten for so long.
Of course. I mean, you always bring up the Michigan State statistics of him, the 33 fouls to 3 fouls on him. Like, obviously that's something. But we were arguing during the game about it. Like, he's not blowing the whistle for himself, you know?
I agree, but it's like if an analogy would be like the holding call for like in the Super Bowl essentially would be like you could be like, oh, you could call it. Are you gonna blame you're blaming the Chiefs?
You had
You're
to bring
blaming
that up for
You're
me?
bringing the refs.
Why couldn't you use like the moving screen on Uconn women's
Could have been any
basketball?
other example,
Anything
probably.
else. But you just have to be a terrible human being.
That's the
and
first
bring
thing I
your
thought of
friends
when you think
past
about when you think
trauma.
about blowing calls. That's one that is very controversial.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
and
mean,
when you see that happen all the time, especially like when you go back in basketball and like Shaq literally had to get like his knee taken out to get a foul called.
yeah, I mean,
The other thing, though, with Shaq used to shoot a lot of free throws, and people weren't pissed about it because he wasn't making them.
Yeah, but Shaq also was getting like actually murdered.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's,
there's, like, a plays
why
where-
they
where
call the fouls the
there's-
way they call them now.
There's like plays on Zach Edey where he's like someone's straight up and he's just 7'5" and it's kind of like he's bigger than them. His body gets into him. It's like, what do you want the guy to do?
I
Especially
get
at like a collegiate level. Like,
I see your frustration, and I feel like we're kind of just running circles around this conversation for the past 3 podcasts.
it's fun.
But I would like to, unless somebody else has some thoughts on Edey, I would like to
do.
just go over the. All right, so do that, and then I want to talk about Danny Hurley.
Listen, kids, when you are taught to play basketball, like one of the first things they teach you is when you have the ball, never bring it below your waist. Like Zach Edey is 7'5". The amount of times in the Final Four in the national championship, I saw him bring the ball down below his waist just to get it stripped or knocked away, and he had to go chase it down. Like, you're a senior in college, you want to go to the NBA, you should know not to do that because in the NBA, they're going to steal that ball 10 times out of 10.
NBA, he's gonna not see the floor.
No, exactly.
G
he's
League
gonna be
legend
he's
is
gonna be
down.
really good on the Shanghai Sharks.
He needs to fix these little mistakes that he keeps doing if he wants to have a shot of making and staying on an NBA roster. or else G League for you.
Get ready to learn Chinese, Zach.
He's gonna get drafted in the first round.
You
No,
should
he's
be
not.
in the
Yes,
20s.
Yes,
he's gonna be.
He played himself into a first round pick.
He's gonna be on the cusp of that first
You also
round,
have to
second
think,
round.
basketball, the draft is much different. Like, really, the people are only looking at, like, the lottery. And if you get anything else, out like a good, solid role player outside of the lottery, that's a win in your draft.
This draft also isn't.
It's not very strong.
Yeah, it's not definitely not the strongest draft. It's it almost feels like the 2013 draft.
Well, like if a team can like develop him, and I'll be quick, 'cause I think I want to get to Danny Hurley. If a team can like develop him defensively into like a Rudy Gobert like style player, where like you don't need him out there for your offense, maybe he can make like a couple baskets here and there, but like he can get minutes in an NBA roster if he puts into the right
A
situation.
solid 15 a game
yeah,
as a backup.
like he can get eight man rotation minutes, like, and he'll be drafting somewhere between 20 and 30, I think.
He's not gonna play.
He's probably
I
not
think
gonna
I
play
think at
as
some
a-
point in his career he's gonna get to a point where he is in a rotation on an NBA
I think if
roster.
Taco Fall
We've
got
se-
minutes in an NBA court, Zach Edey will see some minutes.
Taco
It's
Fall
just-
was what 7-7? That was crazy.
So
Oh, man.
7-4 is
No,
like,
I'm just saying Taco Fall was crazy.
Once you're over 7'1", you're taller than anybody else out there at that point, anyways.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so,
Like-
it's all the same.
Boban's still in the league. From like if Boban's in the league, he's in the league.
All right, we'll see.
So coaches.
I don't care. I'm not
in-
gonna watch Zach Edey ever again play basketball, and I'm fine with it.
Just wait until he wins
Whatever.
the NBA championship.
Well, on
He's
the,
a hater,
as the
man.
10th man on a roster.
We might have a gift for you soon, and it might have
Might.
the number 55 on it.
15.
It might just
15, whatever
It
his
might
number
just
is.
be Zach Edey.
Yeah, you get him on the pod.
A cameo? How much do you think he charges for a cameo?
A lot of money.
He's
these
probably
days.
pretty high right now, but once his NBA career kind of falls on its face.
Let's come back in like
Once he
6
ends up in
months.
Shanghai,
So Danny Hurley, kind of a polarizing figure, I'd say, in college basketball right now. Maybe not the most orthodox guy with the passion that he shows and the way he plays, the way he coaches the game, but he's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I love watching him, and to see they're up 15, they have that game in the bag, and he's so locked in that he goes on the court, shoves Cam Spencer to get the action started is hilarious. Cost his team a possession. That's fantastic, dude.
My favorite part was when his son had the ball and he's just like, "Do not fucking shoot it."
Yeah,
And
you could
Matt-
read his
it's
lips.
like the entire country saw what just happened there.
Matt Painter also was like on the other side. He's like, tell him to shoot it.
Yeah.
If that was me, I would have shot that ball so fast.
Yeah, I do like that.
I gotta
from
get
Painter.
my something in the stat books, at least if it's 0
He's
from
got-
1.
He's got a lot
Like,
of things in the stat book.
It was also funny because after the game, they're like taking pictures with their championship shirts and hats, and the Hurley family comes out, and in the middle is Danny, and then all the way on the left side is Andrew Hurley, as if he wasn't at least somewhat a part of the championship
Yeah.
team.
He's the designated
But
turnover
you
guy.
know that it's you know that it's for Bobby. You know not Bobby.
Danny,
Danny.
of course.
You know it's for Danny. Like the kid's a walk on. He knew. He just went there to play basketball. Does that? He knew. He knows in that situation.
UConn also
Who's it
officially a
for?
blue blood
Oh
Yeah.
yes, 6 national titles.
in 25 years, and they've done it with 3 different coaches,
Yeah, they're
which
blue
is
blood.
something that I feel like we haven't necessarily seen out of the other blue bloods. Like Duke, like it was all with Coach K.
UConn's got more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
than-
know,
now
I
than
know.
Duke.
Yeah, UCLA. What they've won with 2 coaches? I think one won in the 80s, late 80s, 90s.
Yeah,
UCLA
yeah.
in the 80s was
Yeah,
Yeah, they-
80s and early 90s. I remember that.
Bill Walton.
Like, and then UNC with Dean Smith and Roy.
hmm
Like, it's all 1 or 2 coaches. Like, Hall of Fame coaches.
And
Yeah.
then obviously Kentucky's a blue blood, but they just lost Coach Cal, which appears to be probably
A good thing.
good
an
thing,
enhancement for that program.
And a lot of people like that were talking about like Cal being like Kentucky. It's like he's won 1 national title.
Yeah.
They had 7 before it.
All right, so yeah, Cal's out at Duke at Kentucky.
Off to Big Chicken, Arkansas.
That's going to be interesting to see though, because Cal's biggest thing throughout his career has been his ability to recruit,
Yeah.
not necessarily his coaching repertoire, but Arkansas is not nearly as, destination that people want to go to compared to Kentucky.
I
But
want to say
was Kentucky when he came from Memphis? Was it like a big basketball school? Was it a big
Yes.
destination?
They've been a blue
Kentucky
blood.
is a a big
Yeah.
college basketball.
I just want to say though, like especially in the era of the NIL, I don't think people realize like Arkansas has some deep ass pockets. The Walmart family is on the booster board for Arkansas.
Jerry
Jones is on the board of boosters for
Tyson.
Arkansas. Tyson Foods is on the board of boosters for Arkansas. So the fact that they're willing to pay Kentucky $30 million a year to buy out.
No, he has not. No buyout.
Okay,
He
so
left, yeah.
so whatever they're gonna pay Calipari, which is probably close to $10 million, $15 million a year, I would have to guess. They're gonna, I guarantee you, put some money up to go get some players in that portal and/or guys that are coming out of high school.
And
So
did I see correctly too that Kentucky also is already extending offers to Danny Hurley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
They need a coach.
And
I don't
he's
think
al-
he's going to leave though.
You can't leave after a back-to-back national championship.
That's not the
run.
type of guy he is either. He's
Yeah,
not
no.
chasing the dragon or anything like that.
No.
Like you said too, Connecticut's gonna match whatever Kentucky puts up.
They have to
At least to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
They'll get close, I think, to any
But-
offer.
Yeah, I think. Well, my thing too with even talking NIL, I think Cal and Dabo are in that same boat where neither of them are trying to utilize the portal, and I think they're trying to push him to utilize the portal now at Arkansas, and it's okay, and they're talking about all this money he's gonna have. Dude, he was at Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kentucky basketball, that's what they do. I think in terms of NIL, there's no way they might have a little bit more money, but what's really the difference at that point?
But I just think there's something to be said about a group of very wealthy men or a school that is excited to go and spend money. You know what I mean? That excitement
Yeah.
factor of we have a big name, we have a big face, let's go and let's put some money up for this. I just think there's something to be said for that. Versus on the other side, whereas at Kentucky, it gets to a certain point where it's you just can't hear the same voice anymore. At a certain point, you're just
How many
it's
times did
best.
Drake come in the building?
Yeah.
I mean, Kentucky also, they're going to have, people lining up for that job.
Billy-
Maybe not some of the big names they want, like a Hurley.
But Billy
Or-
Donovan.
Billy Donovan could be
Donovan,
one.
for sure.
Nate Oates out of Alabama. I don't think he'll leave, but
I think
that's a
Nate
name to
Oates
look out
should
for.
leave.
I think NATO is gone. I think he's gonna get a big deal somewhere.
So you guys talked about that Dabo and Calipari don't want to go into NIL and go into that and all that stuff. So you saw with Saban, Saban just said I don't want to deal with it either. I think how long is Calipari's contract? 5 years.
Yeah.
I
something that.
think by the end of those 5 years he's done.
I
think
I
it's
don't
very
think he'll have a
different.
very long tenure there.
I don't think he'll have a very long
Yeah.
tenure. I think Dabo will be done sooner than we think.
No, I doubt it. Dabo loves football.
Yeah, he's a big
If he's not
football
gonna,
guy.
if he's not gonna,
It doesn't matter.
Adapt
Clemson
to
still
the
is
NIL.
Clemson now. He made Clemson into what they are. They had a bad season, but
Yeah.
prior to this, even during the NIL era, they had 7 straight years of 10 wins
Yeah.
at least. One national title, 2 other national title game appearances.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do kind of want to use this college basketball chatter to pivot into our last thing of the day. We wanted to go over some of our favorite sports traditions across a wide variety.
There's a tradition like any other, like no other this week.
One shining moment for me, but I know what you're going to go into.
I think.
But my favorite tradition is one shining moment. I watch the tournament just so that way I can sit there for 2.5 minutes or however long it is after the natty.
Remember that time we were sitting on that couch 3 weeks ago?
I remember
saw that happen.
I remember most one shining moments.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say we could start pulling them out right now. What year was this?
But I do like watching them a lot.
Go ahead, Eric.
I think in honor of the Masters, I think this is good that we go into. But I think my favorite tradition in sports would be the wave at Iowa.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a feel good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
warms the heart type of tradition right there for sure.
I thought you were going to, because you were talking about the Masters when you brought this idea up to me. I thought
Yeah.
you were going to talk about the Masters, the prices at the concessions.
No.
Because that's a great tradition.
Yeah. It's the same thing at Atlanta when they're they have a Chick-fil-A here, but they don't. It's Sunday. The Falcons spend Sunday.
That'll never make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
no, because think about it. There's 6 other days of the week that they host concerts and events on.
I know, but still, it's it's the Falcons Stadium.
Yeah.
That's a tradition. No
What do you got
other.
on?
Mine, I would honestly say, this is off the top of my head, I would say I always appreciate watching the festivities and the game that goes around with the Army-Navy game every year. I think that's just like a cool idea. I think it's a lot of like
It's
the
got its own-
festivity. Yeah, it's got its
own week.
own little week. It's got like, college game day that leads up to it. They have all these figures that come from West Point and Naval Academy and all this sort of stuff. So I think that's just like a good old-fashioned American tradition right there.
It is
Yeah.
cool, all the allure they have around it for
Yeah.
probably one of the
worst game.
fundamentally
it's going to be
sound-
like a 12-9 game
Yeah.
or like a
under
9-3
is
game.
like
Yeah. Those
hitting like the last
free
15
money.
games.
You might see 3 completions the entire game.
Mine, I kind of went a little different route. Mine's more on like the smaller side, but like when you're out in public, and this is for Eagles fans. When you're out in public and you see someone wearing like a bird shirt, you just go Birds. That small little sentence, just
Wow.
I enjoy that as well.
it just gets me a little bit hyped and it gets me excited, especially in the off season. It's just like the birds are coming.
They're coming.
Hey, hey, you can shit on it, but it's my pick.
All the
Like
traditions
I could
in
shit on your
sports.
shitty.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, my God.
Cut that
We
out.
got like jump around at Wisconsin, like the octopus throw in Detroit.
Enter Sandman at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Yep.
Play like a champion today, hitting the sign when you're walking out. Like the Rock at Clemson, the
Death
rundown.
Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Dabo's.
Jack is seeing someone at the grocery store telling him go Birds.
Yeah, well, I'm not a college football fan.
There is a great sense of camaraderie with that.
Yeah.
People
Dancing
from all different
Philadelphia,
walks of life.
every single Philadelphia
That's
fan
what
can
every
back
fan
me
of
up on
every
that.
sports team does when they see someone in public that like they're not from the area. Like if I'm in Michigan at home and I see someone with a Bucks hat on, I'm like go Bucks.
So that's a good tradition.
Or like I see people with Notre Dame stuff anywhere, I'm like go Irish.
Okay, good tradition.
Well, that's not like a Philly thing.
It's not just a Philly thing, but
It's like the Jeep
our,
wave.
Yeah.
It's just it's our thing. We say go Birds, you say go Irish. I'm just saying, like in
What do you-
general, with your team, when you see somebody, you say go your team.
Somebody just invented actually a device that you put on. It's not a device. It's just an object, but it's like a hand waving, so that way you never miss a Jeep wave. You just
There you
put it
go.
on your dash.
I
The
needed
Jeep
that back
wave.
in the day.
That might be the best tradition.
No, the Jeep wave.
Tailgating, great tradition.
What do you
Now
got,
we're just
Mahoney?
getting real broad.
What I mean, like
Mine was one shining moment.
Oh,
That
that's right.
that
Okay,
my
it was,
tradition,
yeah.
this fucking Phillies dancing on my own recently.
Great
Oh
tradition.
yes, great tradition.
What's
Great
the,
tradition.
is it only Bryce Harper that does it, or do all the Phillies players do the little thing when they hit the home run? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
When
the
Bryce
little-
rounds first,
yeah.
he like does that
No,
little thing.
everyone does it.
They do. Oh, okay.
It's
Now-
to, it's to
That's
the
like the only thing in
it's-
Philly that like it's kind of electric.
It's a
I'm
nod
like,
to the
alright.
bullpen.
Maybe a
Gotcha.
new tradition that is sweeping the nation is all the sketch sellies.
Yeah,
That's
Those are great.
honestly, yeah. What's up, brother?
Yeah,
See, what are
that's
some
fair.
other good ones?
Yeah.
I like it when like the BYU Cougar does like anything like
The
athletic.
gorilla at the Suns game doing something crazy.
Why is their mascot a gorilla? Why is it a gorilla?
Because better than
I'm
having
actually gonna-
better than having like a
mute me for a
dancing
second.
sun, or like the dude at Jacksonville who just like flies in, and, like
That's what
parachutes
we
in.
were talking about that
Yeah.
earlier. That one's great. What are you looking up here?
So apparently the Suns mascot. Here we go. This is why the Suns mascot's a gorilla. They tried it because they wanted to get the fans involved. That's the reason why they kept it, because the fans loved it. The Phoenix Suns adopted a gorilla as their mascot in the 1980s after a fan's performance in a gorilla suit was well received by the fans.
That's so fucking ridiculous. You're the Suns.
Okay, I gotta
Since when is
feel.
a gorilla synonymous with the sun?
Is there like slight like undertones there of like? I'm not gonna. Yeah, I
Well,
just. I
Lamar
don't,
Odom says the Phoenix
You
Suns
are-
mascot is
Okay,
racist.
perfect.
I'm
So
looking at
Lamar
that right
Odom
there.
said it, not me. Lamar Odom says the Phoenix Suns mascot is racist. I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know, a gorilla, really. Like, we couldn't have a dude in a sun outfit.
Yeah.
Another good tradition I think that is like not thought of, the Florida Panthers when they throw rats on the ice during the playoffs. Like,
That's
that's a
true.
crazy story.
Hockey, I feel like, has a lot of good ones.
a good one.
Yeah.
Throwing batteries at Santa, classic. Every year at that time around, you just grab a pack of batteries and
NHL
go to an Eagles game.
playoff beards in
Yeah.
hockey.
Playoff
the handshake
mullets,
line.
playoff stashes, anything playoffs related, really.
But dude, the thing with the rats was actually crazy. Like they were like, to close it out, the story was like they went to the Cup final in '99, and it was like they were like the 7 seed or something like that, and they were not predicted to go far, and they like saw a rat in their locker room, like before game one of the round one of the playoffs, and they just went on a tear. So they like told everyone, and So like then they scored their first goal in the cup final. Like everyone threw rats on the ice. Like it's actually like the thing is crazy.
I like those strange things that people adopt. Like I remember during the early days of the process 76ers, like kind of right around when they started getting to the playoffs with Simmons and Embiid and stuff. There was a guy who like just posted a picture of him like Lion King posing with his cat, and it was just like after every like Sixers win, it was just like raise the cat. Like the official account was posting it and everything. So I do enjoy when people just kind of take shit like that and run with it.
Yeah, like the rotisserie chicken guy in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that wasn't even like sports related.
No,
That
that's
dude
a
was
great
just doing it. Yeah,
Tradition like no other. All right, ready for
it was
this?
great. What is
The
this?
Panthers score, and then just
Where's the rats?
they're coming.
Oh,
Holy Real
shit.
rats?
No, I think they're all like toy rats.
Oh my
but
God.
it's still like,
Imagine they're real
They're
rats.
just throwing like deceased rats onto the ice.
Bro, they definitely have hella
There-
rats in Miami.
there
They could
definitely
find
is
some.
like real rats on the ice.
There's got to be some like sprinkled in
Somewhere,
there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Tell me you have a rat problem without telling me you have a rat problem.
Yeah. It's
That
like
is
at a
true. Hockey-
FedEx Field could do that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, oh no, that's just a fake one.
It's from that one time.
Anywho,
Yeah,
let's
get
wrap
outta
this
here.
up.
All right.
This has been the Lodge Pod, April 11th.
10th.
Well, it's gonna be up.
Oh,
tomorrow.
my bad.
Tomorrow, Game 1, Saginaw Spirit, round 2.
All right, we're
Go
riding
Spirit.
with the spirit. All right,
Peace.
See ya.
see you later. Thanks for watching.